count.
Welcome. That was perfect timing. Tony brings us in. Tony starts dying. Here we go. Episode 997.
80.
Episode 80 on the dot?
78.
No, I thought it was
78.
39.
No, shut your mouth.
Dude,
when
it's
you're
our
talking
year
to me.
anniversary.
Oh my God.
You can't talk about it.
So we're back with another episode of What Are We Doing? So tonight. All right. Well, you bring Jake. Listen, Jake's
Shoot.
working right now, and we'll talk about his topic when he's not over here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not seeing a problem here.
Yeah, me neither.
That's fair. So what's happening, y'all?
What's happening?
We just watched episode 2 of The Mandalorian. Got some opinions on that.
How was it?
It was a show.
That's not saying much.
Well, here, this is what I'll say. I think it's mediocre.
Okay.
You know, like it's not like nobody's gotten killed and flown with the Force through space, so it's not like
Star Wars.
No, it's
It came close tonight.
It's Star
nothing.
Wars.
No, nothing that dumb.
It came close.
There was something tonight where you're like, I don't know.
No
about
spoilers,
that.
but yeah. I don't. I mean,
No, you know what? It's as far as the new generation of Star Wars is concerned, it's
Star
good.
Wars.
It's good
Oh,
compared to that
okay,
stuff.
well.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fan of the original universe and everything they've extrapolated out from that. I might not be a fan of. You know what I mean?
I don't think you like any of it. It's just nostalgia driving your like of the original.
There's a lot of things I like from the prequel trilogy, though.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of things that I don't like about the prequel trilogy.
That's.
Yeah,
I mean,
me-
there's
me
plenty.
too.
There's plenty of issues with it.
astronomically more.
No, see, I will say I
I-
enjoyed it more. I enjoyed the prequel trilogy quite a bit.
My biggest problem with
at
the
all.
prequels have got to be just Hayden Christensen.
Well, listen,
That's
I think,
got to. That's
He's
got.
a big part of it.
Well,
That's
I
got to
th-
be my biggest.
I
Problem.
think all the acting really brought it down. But look at the dialogue. So the dialogue's not good from
No,
the prequel trilogy.
No.
They
it's not.
announce what the enemy is and then fight it.
Yeah, it's all exposition, and then it's like bland political maneuvering
I mean,
for a franchise that didn't have any of that before.
no, it was. I mean,
They
it was
didn't need it.
No,
I
it was
mean-
unnecessary. I mean, they were trying to give. I guess they were trying to give more of a background to what was going on.
I
why there
get
was
it. I
conflict.
get it. Have
Because
you
when you
seen
have
the-
an enemy called the Trade Federation, you're like, that's.
I remember
that's a
watching
weird,
those, and they are so horribly written that they're utterly confusing. You don't know what's happening until you've seen the third one.
You know, I think episode 2, if it were better, I think the entire all three of the prequels would be looked upon more fondly. Because 2, like 1, you're like, okay, I get it. Like, now that's pod racing. You know, like, I get it. You know, it's like a reintroduction. It's kind of a reimagining of Star Wars. Like, look, there's these new cool robots that say Roger Roger and whatnot, and Gungans, Misa, Dona Noah. But then 2 comes along, and it's like, whoa.
There was so much bad about the first one.
No, I get it.
You know, like 2 was bad, but like 1 was bad too.
I think we can say that. Oh, 1 was definitely not the greatest, but like,
The one gave us arguably one of the worst characters, most overrated characters in all of pop culture.
You're talking about Darth Maul.
Absolute.
no, I was just gonna
I
say I
agree
think
with
one
you,
of their
but-
biggest, but he's got Boba Fett syndrome. He's cool looking. You're like, that guy's probably a badass, and then they just kill him.
And he's got like 5 lines, and that's about it.
Well, Boba Fett.
And people loved him.
But
They
Darth
soak it
Maul,
up.
he should have been the main antagonist, at least for the first movie and a half. He should have survived the first film.
You're arguing my point.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you whatsoever. Because later on they've given that character depth when he had none.
Yeah.
Right, in the first
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And that was a miss. Like first of all, the ability to kill Qui-Gon, who was like built up as a very, very powerful Jedi, unceremoniously just like, oh, I left my belly open and I got a lightsaber in it.
And then he does like a twirl of the thing afterward. He's like, bzz, tilts his head dramatically.
I know some people
Come on,
rag on that
McGregor.
fight, but I thought that 2-on-1 fight was really cool. It was something we'd never seen. You know what I mean? You've only ever saw 2, 1-on-1.
It was also the first time they've ever done anything other than like like a kind of like where they were jumping around and there was actually little
Wide shots.
acrobatic.
It was
Yeah.
a wide shot
Yeah,
choreography
exactly.
instead
Yeah.
of like the
Instead
tight
of-
shots of.
Because I
just
mean, if you
broom
remember,
sticks.
one-on-one, yeah.
if you remember the first fight between, well, I guess not the first fight, but the first fight in
Well, Vader-
episode 4 where Obi-Wan's fighting Vader, it's very
it's like moved in slow motion.
yeah,
it's bad.
It's
That's
very,
the only.
That's
Well,
what I was
yeah.
trying
In
to say.
in retrospect, I mean, it was not done
That
perfectly.
dude was dialing in his performance from the get go. You want to say Harrison Ford was bad?
I didn't think
original
Obi-Wan was
Obi-Wan
that bad.
Yes, he was.
I don't think he was that bad.
You have to use the Force, Luke.
Luke, use the Force
Any-
and run. Run to Dagobah.
Anyway,
No, Star Wars just sucks.
I mean, it's not good. But anyway,
People are worried about like the majority of the content can be considered subpar now. They're like, am I still a fan when most of it's bad?
yeah.
And like Return of the
Brittany says Brad is drinking Sunkist. WTF?
What? Orange soda's delicious.
Jason says which one is Brad?
that's funny.
I'm the guy with beard and glasses.
Nailed
Duh.
it.
And a black
Nailed
shirt.
it.
Yeah, and a black shirt. Love it. I love it. We all need hats.
And now there's complaints about us talking about Star Wars every week.
No,
Yeah.
well, listen. I've come to find out that one thing is constant, and that's complaints about what we're talking about. So we're just gonna keep
Can
talking.
you guys tell us what we're doing right?
They might not be able to. So thank you for watching a show that you hate.
Who's complaining about Star Wars?
It was a joke.
Oh. Okay.
No, I like the idea of more Star Wars shows. You know what I mean? Because I think that you take the shotgun approach, you shoot your shot, you're going to get one of them right. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I really want it to be good. I want to see something that's not Jedi related because I really don't like the Jedi stuff. But
Yeah, I mean,
That's why you
fair.
don't like Star Wars.
not at all.
Yeah.
But what did we get out of the Mandalorian? No spoilers.
Yeah. Well, listen, you got to know, like, the Force is always going to be a part of it.
Why? It
That's-
wasn't. It wasn't in.
That's all they got.
Rogue One a lot. It was only in regards to Darth Vader, and that was
Listen,
reshoots.
I will say that it was in Rogue One too much. I am one with the Force. The Force is one with me, or whatever. Like that guy. Like
That's
that,
true.
that
You did have an entire
Can you
character
name the
who-
character?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Asian dude.
There we go. That's racist and an issue.
He was Asian.
But that's not his name.
He
You
was
bigot.
not Asian. There was no Asia in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, dude,
Dang. It's a galaxy far, far away. No Asia.
Asia's a big place.
Not that big.
Prove it.
Doesn't span galaxies.
It's the world's largest continent. No,
In the galaxy.
that was the biggest weakness with Rogue One. None of the characters mattered.
I think that was part of it. That was. I don't agree with you on that. I think that's part of the majesty of it. Is that you know immediately from the rip everybody's gonna die.
No, see, when characters die that don't matter, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, it depends on the story they're telling, which they made you feel for those characters.
See, that's what I'm arguing that they didn't, because you don't even know their names.
Well, I mean, I really did. Like, I felt like, I'm not gonna say connection, but like, the movie was written and shot in a way that made me feel for the characters.
Look, I mean, this is not necessarily a critique of or being critical of Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was the best Star Wars we've gotten in the last, 20 years. What, Mike? What are you laughing at? Clever girl.
Anyway.
That guy, the guy played by the Asian actor, I'm looking at his name
How do
and
you
I
know
don't
he's
know what
Asian?
his last name's Yen.
That's a
Thank
currency.
you.
I'm looking at his
obviously
name
he's
and I
an
don't know
Asian
what his
actor.
name is. The
Just being a
character.
He's what now?
I'm looking at the character's name and I don't know what the character's name is.
Well, I don't know any of their names.
Carrot Imwe. The I has a circle over it though.
Yeah,
What?
It's a capital I with a circle over it. No,
I
it's not
thought
a
they
circle.
could-
It's music. It's an accent. It's
Yeah.
they could have left a lot of those
like the thing
characters
above the
out.
6.
You know what I mean? And it wouldn't have changed the story at all. Because, like, when he dies on the beach, you're like, oh, the Force failed him. And then his friend, like, I don't know. There's too many, like, superhero moments where it's, like, killing everything. You know what I mean? And then the grenade. Then he dies to a grenade. The guy with like the
Was that
the
Saw
heavy
Gerrera,
laser?
the guy with the big gun? Or was
Nope.
it, Saw Gerrera was the.
That's the point. That's
that
what I'm
was
saying
the dude,
right there.
That was the dude who died in the big.
Who's like, they're like, hey,
Blast.
they're blowing
Yeah.
the planet up. We should
Forrest
probably go. He's
Whitaker.
like, I'm tired of running. Go ahead. And you're like, what?
All right.
No, I don't know.
Can you tell me about something you love?
From Rogue One,
Just period. Just something you love. Let's make this an ongoing segment.
I love
We'll have
I
20
love my
minutes of
Lincoln.
silence every week.
I love my Lincoln.
It's got to be nerd related.
Nerd related.
Yeah.
I can't say that I love them, but I really am enjoying the Horus Heresy books right now.
That's.
I'm liking
Really?
them a lot more than I thought I would.
What do you like about him?
Honestly, the history part, because there are some things in it you're like, why did that? Like in the third book, right? They're I don't remember where they're at, but they're fighting a battle, and the city they're attacking is like into a mountain, and the defenders blow up a section of it, and the mountain falls on Angron.
Yeah.
And like from the character's point of view, he's like, "Oh my God! Like this battle is like it's so costly. It cost us a Primarch." And they fight for a little while longer, and he's like, "What's that?" And Angron bursts out of the ground, and you're like, "That's stupid. That's just dumb."
So by telling us about something you love, you're telling us about how you don't like it.
Well, it's not perfect. I didn't say I loved it either. I said
I want to know something.
I said I'm
don't know
enjoying
what
it.
you liked about it. That's what I asked you, and you're like, I hated when this dude bursted out of this chunk of mountain. Like, that's not what I wanted to know.
No, but okay. I guess that's setting up like what I think they do a good job of, especially in the first two books. Horus really has a personality. So the guy that do you know who Horus is?
No.
Okay,
Don't bother.
No, well, no. I mean, to give it context, right? Horus
I know
is
he's all about heresy.
well, he's the
not
one that
very
rebelled
religious.
against the emperor.
he
right?
led the rebellion against the Imperium of Man.
It basically is like the biblical story, right? So the emperor is God, and Horus is basically Lucifer, right? Like he's his favored son, and then he turns on him, and he takes a section of the.
I did not know that 40K even ripped off the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, how many stories? I mean, stories are pretty.
Finite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at any rate, he literally is like tied to the chaos gods, who are basically demons, right? I mean, they are demons, but like they're basically biblical demons. And you would expect him to just be like, "Oh, I want to Horus smash, Horus kill, Horus bad." In his first two books, he's not like that. There's a lot of depth to him. It talks about how he's a very shrewd.
so they do a
shrewd
good
politically.
job. They do a good job at building
His
some-
character matters. It's
Yeah,
not.
they do a good job at building.
Which
a
makes
lot
his
of
fall
characters, which is good.
more not painful, but has more flavor.
has more of an effect
Yeah.
on you. than-
Impact.
Yeah.
Jason says he loves Chick-fil-A.
He's not wrong.
Chick-fil-A is.
I also
It's just good.
love Pisha. I love Pisha.
I don't know what Pisha is.
Yeah, you do.
I love Pisha.
Everyone loved Pisha.
What's Pisha?
It's the only thing that makes unequivocally everyone happy.
What's Pisha?
If you find somebody that doesn't like pizza, you might
Oh, Pisha.
want to put them down.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Because there's a pizza out there that will make them happy.
dude, I'm so happy to be in town now. I can eat. I'm gonna eat. I swear, probably once a week. I'm gonna order a pizza bucket.
Dude, Pizza Bucket's so expensive, man. But it's I like it.
delicious.
I like
It is
it.
delicious.
I like it.
Did you ever see their old commercials?
What's that?
You ever see their
Yeah.
old commercials?
Yeah.
Can you
they're
guys
pretty-
tell me what you think of blueberry muffins?
I like blueberry muffins.
All
man.
right.
Trash, aren't they?
I like them.
See what I mean? Everybody, they're trash.
I like
Continuous
blueberries.
outrageous stance on blueberry muffins.
Tony
What
doesn't
don't you like about
Slightly
blueberry
worse than
muffins?
Star Wars movie.
I love blueberry muffins.
bad.
No, so I mean, what's going on in the world? We got impeachment day 3 today or 4?
I think it's 3.
Day 3. So
Day 3.
When's he
going
gonna be out of office?
If that's what you. If that's
Well, there was-
at the earliest would be the election.
well, they had a
So-
guilty verdict already, didn't they?
2 years. 2 years May.
You see the headline?
May?
It was New York Times. No, not New York Times. It was the New Yorker.
when they
It
switched
was like
over.
a guy in a circus head. He's like,
January.
guilty now for the trial. Pretty funny.
Oh,
Pretty funny.
yeah.
Oh,
No, I don't know. What else is going on? Anything?
Did you see the?
Well, we got a
opening-
round of, if you want to
Oh.
talk 40K, going from the Horus Heresy, we've got a round of 40K releases coming up.
Yeah, Sisters come out on Black Friday.
Yeah, Sisters come out. We've got the new
Black
Psychic,
Friday is going to be a thing.
We've got the new Psychic Awakening book, which the Emperor's Children stuff is there is amazing. Everything else is really kind of subpar, but
I think you got to play with it, man.
Well, I don't have to play with the Emperor's. I don't have to play with the Emperor's Children stuff to know that it's pretty good. But the other stuff, like the Iron Warriors, doesn't look terrible, but
you know what I like? It might not be as good as the Space Marine stuff, but at least it's different.
Yeah.
It's not cookie cutter.
No, it's
unique, right?
Yeah. I was trying to get people online to call it the what was it? The Cuckening. Yeah, the Cuckening 2, Chaotic Boogaloo.
I don't think they got cucked.
Oh, they definitely got cucked. They didn't even get, it's the Psychic Awakening. They didn't even get Psychic powers.
Yeah, I get it, but like I don't
so
think
silly.
it's.
But
We can universally say that Marines are overpowered, right? Like they are too good for what's going on. So like the fact that another army didn't get brought up to that, I'm okay with.
It's not that they didn't. It's not that they didn't get brought up to that necessarily. There's just rules that they've missed out since the start of 8th edition that they really haven't done anything with. Like take your Chaos Marks for instance. Those things haven't had rules since the start of 8th edition, except for a stratagem for each one. Most of them are worthless, except for the Slaanesh.
Well, stratagems are bad most of the time anyway. I mean, okay, so the thing is with something like a Chaos Mark, though, it's something that will never have points attached to it, so it's hard to...
It had points attached to it last edition.
I guess it did, didn't it? But that's what made it bad, right? Because you had to pay for them.
Well, they weren't all bad. So you had the Mark of Nurgle, which this was important last edition, but you could take your Chaos Bikers, right? And you make a Mark of Nurgle. You could have T6 Chaos Bikers. And then later on, when they launched Traitor Legions, you could have T6 Bikers with a Feel No Pain. Like, it was gnarly. I can't remember what they all did. The Mark of Zinch gave you +1 to your invuln save. So you got a lot of... you didn't really get a whole lot of 2-up invulns, maybe except for Lethal Relic in terms of Chaos Space Marines, but you got a lot of 3-up invulns.
I'm glad 2-up invulns are gone.
It doesn't seem those...
I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about your old Dark Angels list where you had 2-up rerollable saves.
Yeah.
Cover saves. I'm like, man, that's a really...
That was
dumb.
That was silly. But it wasn't as bad as a lot of the other stuff, though. Because most every competitive army ignored cover in one way or another. So
think
it's
about
like,
a new,
it's
think
like
about
look
a
at
new
this
player,
awesome
though.
thing that most of the best armies ignore.
Think about a new player, though, right? So like you're
oh, absolutely.
Here's your first game. You got just to start collecting in a couple boxes. You're like, man, I'm going to play 40K, and then the guy across from you is like,
no, they've got a 2-up rerollable save.
and you're like, wait, can I kill it?
No, noob.
You can try.
If someone ever did that.
That wasn't like that in
If someone ever did that to a new player, they should just go.
Well, that's the problem that people
just,
do. Like
just
since it's possible,
We got a
people do.
request to talk about Magic cards being banned.
Well, Jake's busy right now.
Well, hang on. Well, I'll cover it. They banned some Magic cards this week. It was wild. All right, so moving on.
Jason says he likes watching Brad talk and Tony ignore it all.
Tony said that?
Jason.
You don't have to ignore it.
Well, I'm trying to pay attention to the comments because it's far more entertaining than 40K.
That's fine.
We got any good movies out?
I
know Disney Plus is kind of like the big thing, right?
Yeah,
but
right now.
See, like the shiny has worn off.
really.
Like all the content that's there, besides maybe the Mandalorian, is old content we've seen already.
We knew that was going to be the case, though.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the stuff I'm still watching some of it, but it's like, why are we still excited about it?
When they announced it, like
later.
I was thinking, like some of the things, I was like, man, I really don't care. Like a lot of the old Disney cartoons, like I don't ever need to watch those again.
I like them.
That's one of the
The
reasons.
Gargoyles cartoon I heard was on there. That's
Super
pretty
good.
cool.
I watched that the other day.
Is it good? I remember
it's-
it being
it's
great.
fantastic.
Talk about nostalgia, right? That's
I love that
I
show.
watched
crazy.
all the
That's old.
92 X-Men.
Yeah.
Yes.
another great old
So good.
cartoon.
But I mean, after you're done, you're like, I,
I
guess I'll
still
wait for
feel
something
empty
cool to
inside.
happen.
I do like that those are available in one place. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
they were super hard to. I never finished Gargoyles. It just kind of like.
I think it's only got like 4 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, I remember where I was at when I stopped watching. I was like,
That's
I want to know
awesome.
what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
I would like to watch it, maybe.
Well, buy Disney Plus.
That's fair. Sarah's talking about it. I'm like, we don't need Disney Plus. We've got Disney Plus at home.
Why don't you just cancel your cable?
I'm thinking about canceling my TV.
Should?
I don't use it. It's all Sarah. I don't use the TV barely at all. I watch football.
Most of that on Hulu.
Yeah.
Like $70 a month.
Yeah. That's what we're thinking. Then like Netflix and Disney Plus, I mean, you're still less than $100.
What is it? ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus for like $14 a month.
Yeah.
So, Cool Games came out. Star Wars game.
I've heard that was good.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
not
heard
gonna
actually.
buy
I've,
it.
I've
It
heard
did
a
look
lot
good.
of really good things about it.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah,
Which
But
is
it's
weird.
still EA.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, they don't have loot boxes.
but
Yeah.
shouldn't you reward them when they do something good though?
You should, but how long for how okay, so like the Detroit Lions, right? Over and over and over they're terrible. And every year we're like, "Hey, we got a shot," and then they just poop in your hand. You know what I mean? Like
The amount of disappointment that came with that statement was they just poop in your hand.
dude, I
It was great.
So,
so bad.
people had that same
Yeah.
outlook with, what was it, Black Ops 4?
Yeah.
And
Oh.
then as
Like they
soon
said,
as,
it was
as soon
good.
as the sales started creeping back up,
Microtransactions.
in comes microtransactions and loot boxes.
I get it.
I do not want to support EA, period.
I get it.
I'm going to speak with my money. Pokemon came out.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I was like, "Man, I'll go get
Switch.
Pokemon." And then I'm like, "Wait, Sarah's always like, I can't get you anything for Christmas. So I'm going to let her get me Pokemon for Christmas."
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
Why don't you let her get you like
That's-
Detroit Become Human?
You
already
already
have
borrowed
it.
it from someone. Yeah.
No.
Dude, I beat that game like 3 times, just haven't
You know
told
what's
you.
funny? We were talking about this earlier. He said the PC port is coming out December 12th, you were
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
He's going to beat it before
I
me.
guarantee
Yeah, that's
you he's
exactly
going
what
to
he said.
At this rate. Yeah.
Oh man, I really want to play that. Dude, I haven't turned my PlayStation on in months. Never beat Red Dead. Never beat it.
How far did you get?
I got pretty far. I was in like the final act. I mean,
So you got tuberculosis.
yeah, he hadn't died yet, but he was like
Okay.
every time there was a
Spoilers.
cutscene.
Came out a year ago.
Not the
I got the
PC.
horses in the back.
Exactly. Poor guy.
It's not on a PC. yet.
Sorry, bro.
Brad is like the universal I don't care about anybody guy.
That's not true. I give you a fair amount of time. Before
I give you
start
12
with
months
spoilers.
before I.
Yeah, a fair
You've
amount of
been
time.
playing the Amazon delivery game. You figure out what that's
Yeah.
about yet?
Not really. But, I mean,
it's I've gotten pretty far in it.
Is it about delivering packages?
No, I mean the story isn't not at all.
well, the story still kind of is.
Well, it's about reconnecting America, right? Like
by
that's-
doing what?
Well, by it doesn't
Is it a
necessarily-
FedEx ad?
It doesn't necessarily have
connecting-
anything
it's
to,
a
it doesn't
monster
necessarily
ad.
have anything to do with really delivering packages. It's just about using your Cupid and connecting
Yeah.
it using your Cupid
So
to
the
doesn't have
core
anything to do with
gameplay is definitely just delivering packages.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it not fun. It's
I
more
was-
of like a puzzle game. You're
I was
trying
about to say
figure
I
out what
wouldn't
to do.
say just because it gets pretty complex.
Well, I mean, it's the core gameplay is just delivering packages.
And peeing.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I haven't.
Do you get like damage if you don't? It's really
No,
bad for your
it
bladder.
just makes
to
it
not-
more difficult. But it's not like damage. It's not like that.
I gotcha.
But
I'm
I mean-
mostly trolling.
Like you can either like invest time into getting resources so you can get from point A to point B easily, or you can just hoof it, take a long time, and just deliver the package
Yeah.
very, very slowly.
And there's a lot of cool tools at your disposal too. Like for a while, I had to trek through like all these mountains and stuff, and through all this snow to deliver these different packages to these different people. Well, at one point, I unlocked a zip line thing that I could build. So I built all these zip line nodes through the mountains. So now, from taking me 15 to maybe 20 minutes to make one delivery, takes me like 2. So I
Can
just get on the
we-
zip line and I just go and get. It's really
Can
awesome.
we get a picture of the guy fully maxed out from Death Stranding, just so we can show everybody the core gameplay of this?
What's it called? Oh.
Death Stranding.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
where
lie,
he's carrying
man.
all the packages. It's
It doesn't sound very interesting to
Dude,
me.
it's really weird for about 5 hours,
Yeah.
and then it gets really.
See, like
in-depth.
I don't usually give something that kind of time.
Well, that you're doing yourself a disservice. There's a lot
Well,
of
that's
things
fair.
that need.
That's fair. Well,
that need build-up
to me,
time.
like I don't have a ton of time to just to play.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
But
So like,
mean,
if it doesn't get me,
and that's I wouldn't recommend this game to you honestly.
It doesn't sound very-
for a few reasons. There is because I agree with Tony on that. I probably didn't start really enjoying the game until I was about 4 hours in. I probably went for a few days where I didn't even pick it up. But
Yeah,
then I was
and
like, I
the-
bought it, so I got to play it.
the story is compelling,
I'm
but
glad
it,
it did.
it takes a long time to get
Yeah.
to a
Yeah.
spot where it's like.
just from the outside looking in, it looks like they're like, well, we got Norman Reedus, so that's half the battle.
There's what was it? I was taking a crap, and there was an AMC advertisement on my shower.
Oh my god.
For Norman Reedus.
There's
Yeah.
a ton of that.
Yeah. Dude, I already complained about
Yeah.
that. Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason that you need product placement in a video game.
Yeah. But that's opening the door to really get it in there. Wait till Cyberpunk comes out. There's Pepsi ads and
Dude,
stuff.
there
I don't
was
think
already,
that.
I bet there will be.
I don't think that'll be the case.
There's a Street Fighter game that came out that had ads in the loading screens.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they ended up taking them back because of fan backlash, but they did.
That was the new Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, you
just
bought
weird.
it. You paid money for it. Like, you shouldn't have to.
Is that the one? Whenever it comes up.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
I'm just gonna say yeah.
Okay.
Say yeah.
He's got like a suitcase and
Some of that stuff really doesn't subtract
like a
for me, and some of it's
propeller.
actually kind of funny. Like the fact that so in Death Stranding,
That's
the main
close.
character
That's close
drinks
enough.
Monster.
Okay.
He what?
He drinks Monster. I thought when I first saw that, I thought it was kind of funny, and to me, it doesn't subtract anything from the game.
I
It doesn't- it doesn't-
genuinely think it does because it's not that he just drinks a monster. That would be an Easter egg. It's the fact that the monster gives you a buff, and that when you're walking around, your canteen turns water into monster.
Sounds like a hell of a
Actually,
canteen.
That's actually it's a little different. It doesn't turn water into Monster. It's because of the time fall. So what the rain does is it fluctuates with time. So the way I took it was when the canteen was hit by water, it reverses time to where there was water in the canteen, or it accelerated time to where there would eventually be water or monster in the canteen.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can apply whatever logic you want to.
There's
but it turns
monster in
water
the canteen.
it turns water into monster.
I guess. I think
That's funny. What else? What other games we got?
I think it's about it. You know,
So, what comes out this week from GW? God, I can't even think of it.
This coming weekend.
This coming weekend
I
is
think the
Psychic Awakening, the Chaos Sorcerer.
Yeah, the Chaos Sorcerer.
There's not a lot
which-
the next couple weeks, and
Did you put a pre-order out for that stuff already?
yeah,
Because I definitely want the Sorcerer. All right, I'll have to go.
better do it tonight because
Yeah,
I'll order
do it
tomorrow.
I'll do it tonight. Because I definitely want that Sorcerer.
Oh, we're
at the very
interrupted.
least.
what?
Oh,
uh,
yeah, fair.
Awesome.
when are we gonna start getting Bluefin stuff in?
He's supposed to call me yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the order ready. Yes, we're gonna have Star Wars models, and we're always getting new stuff.
saw
I
that-
got wet pallets on the way. I'm pretty excited about
When
Really?
did Captain
That's
Rex
cool.
and Dooku come out?
those. Last week.
Really?
Yeah, just kinda randomly.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I saw them on the shelf. I'm like, when did this happen?
No, they called me about Crisis Protocol, which I can't speak. The Marvel Miniatures game came out last week. It's like I think it's like $100 box set though.
Is it like HeroClix?
No, it's like a freeform. It's like Legion, but with Marvel stuff.
So not necessarily
how?
superheroes.
I don't know.
but, Like,
It's like scenario based. There's a lot of different scenarios in it. Like you
we'll
build
check it out.
you like somehow build a team of heroes. The starter box comes with like Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Ultron. I'm trying to remember what else.
Did you get any of it?
I only got one.
He's trying to tempt me and bait me here.
Yeah, I mean,
My interest is piqued.
I'd play it with you if you want to play it.
If I had $1.
I don't know what that means. All right, Jake, come on. We've been waiting for your topic.
yeah, someone wants to talk about magic.
Asking about it. No, I swear to God, what was it? Odin or Oberon?
Who the hell's Odin?
Oberon's a
Odin
beard.
wants to know what your topic is.
Tim, I don't know why you even try.
You just said Odin.
Stop talking.
Didn't he say Odin?
You said Odin.
Yeah, and you know you're trolling me.
I don't know anybody named Odin.
Some band card.
Can I have the rest of your
We're
coffee?
talking about magic cards. I guarantee you there's a magic card with Odin in it.
There's no magic cards with the word Odin in it.
Odin
And
is
there might be
copyrighted.
a lot of magic cards.
Odin can't be counted.
No, it's public
Yes, it
domain.
can.
No, it's not.
No,
There's literally somebody trying to make or planning on making a
It's,
Thor comic because they can.
it's open source. So you can't.
That's
just
awesome.
Why is
Just
Mickey
like,
Mouse not
uh,
open source?
They can't.
That's a funny story. Look into that.
More
it's
accurate
it's
to
a
the
great
original.
legal story.
They've
Because
been twisting
it's-
it,
Superman's approaching the same spot.
Yeah.
Because once it was
70 years, right?
Well, it was 50 years.
yeah.
and Disney
had
got
to-
it to be
Guess
70
why it's 70?
because of
Disney
Mickey
got it
Mouse,
because
huh?
of that mouse.
Yep, Disney got it changed.
Yep.
Wow. We were talking about that. Was that yesterday?
That's actually a really interesting story. You guys should look
But
it up.
Thor's like how many centuries old?
At
Centuries?
least 2.
Quite a bit.
Millennium.
Yeah, I was about to
We'll just
say.
say quite a bit.
I would
Not
say
more than
it's
two.
at least
Take 'em all
1,000
the-
years
yeah,
old.
If
I
you take
would
it
say,
all the way
right?
back to this birth, I have no idea.
Odin, father of the Acer, legendary hero decks, TCG player.
All right, Jake, what's
I
your
think it's
topic?
actually a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Have you seen those meme Yu-Gi-Oh trap cards? They're so funny.
Oh, they're all great.
Oh
There's
my
a lot
god,
of really good Magic memes too.
I haven't seen any. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, the All Father, right there.
Jake's like, pretty picture. What?
Is that a real card?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I gotta look it up. I don't know if that's a real card.
Okay, Jake, give us your
No,
topic,
this is
bro.
important.
All right,
Oh
so
my god.
Well, Oko got banned.
It's
Can
not
you
a-
guys
not a
believe
real
it?
card.
Can
Someone
you
made-
guys believe that?
Someone made that up.
I thought that was the chick that broke up the Beatles.
That's
Yoko.
Yoko.
Oh, isn't that what you said?
Why am I screaming?
Oko was obviously getting banned, but that wasn't my subject. But
Well, what's your subject?
That was what people are asking about it.
okay, well we could talk about it. I'd love to talk about Magic.
Let's talk about
We
it.
know.
Can we talk about your topic first?
Well, no, I want to. We can talk about that in a minute. That might be.
We're running out of minutes.
That might be a heavier subject.
If you let him get to the subject.
Okay, I've been trying to get. Don't. Mike's like, if you let him get to the
so
topic.
anyways, it is crazy. Me and my friends have been talking about this a lot with Magic. Is that they are ban heavy in the last ever since Kaladesh. Before
Is that 2 years?
Hmm?
Is that 2 years?
Yeah, for
I can't remember when Kaladesh came out. Was that 16? Late 16?
So Ravnica before that was I think it's 2 years. No, Ixalan.
Because it's
3
before
years ago.
Dominaria,
It's about
right?
3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, so 16 then.
Yeah, and I've been playing Magic for I think 7 years, and maybe 8. And this is pretty wild. I think
It's crazy.
we haven't seen a standard ban. Before Kaladesh, we never saw a standard ban since like 2010.
in the standard format, you're
in the
saying.
standard format since like 2010, and then since Kaladesh, we've had maybe like 12 cards banned in standard. So
Wow, somebody's not doing their job.
the R&D team is doing. They've even openly admitted that they made a mistake with.
Well,
Oko.
hang on now. Hang on. Let me be devil's advocate here. What if it's not a mistake? What if it's a GW method? We got to sell these, and then when people bitch about it, well, we better walk it back.
I think it's a little different because they.
I don't think it's any. I think it might be worse for Magic because
I think
they're selling lotto packs.
Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah, I
their
think it's-
cards are practically currency.
Yeah, they do have ATMs.
Well, the thing is worse because if the standard format is unappealing, packs won't sell. So I don't think it's a great. If that's the strategy, is like we're gonna make really broken cards
It
and
might not
see
be,
what happens.
They might just be looser with it. They might, you know what I mean? We'll
I
the
do-
ability to clean it up.
I do think there is an aspect of them wanting to make more powerful cards to, I guess, power creep standard and to make more cards available in these. Because, like, let's say people only play modern. What's the appeal of buying packs if there's only one card in the set that's good in modern? Not great. They'll just get the card they want.
Yeah.
But if there's 24 cards that are good in modern and makes a more chance that a modern guy might be like, hey, let me get a pack and see if I can get that card. So like there might be that aspect of trying to up the power scale to get Eternal players to buy packs.
Which
But
I
it-
don't think is a bad idea, and I don't think it's necessarily immoral either. Sometimes that stuff just hits harder than you expect.
Yeah. I think the R&D team is terrible.
Well, we talked about this with GW
Yeah,
a lot.
GW.
Like,
Yeah, they make
there's
rules
gotta
that are
be-
just wild, right?
No, well, it's almost like they don't even think about it. So going back to 40K for a second,
course.
the Salamanders and Imperial Fist FAQ just came out today.
I didn't read that. I was on to ask
and
about
they
that.
and they fixed the 2 ridiculous rules that were located in the Salamanders.
The
supplement.
stratagem.
It was the stratagem, and it was the. Actually, they were both stratagems.
Do you say Iron
There
Hands?
was the
No, we're past
There
this.
was the 4 up mortal wound one, right? Where you could get like. You could do like 60 mortal wounds to something with that stratagem.
Oh, I remember
with
Dakota
flamers.
telling me about that.
They rewrote it and capped it at 3. You can't do more than 3. Yes.
Wow.
Because that. Well, I
That's a
mean,
big swing.
That's still that.
Do we have a good turnout
Doing
on
40
Pauper?
is nuts.
4 people, including her.
And then
3 people.
They fixed.
I said including Brittany.
Silence. This is great for a podcast. Okay.
Okay, so anyways, so yes, I think GW and Wizards of the Coast RNG teams are not great at their jobs.
Do they have playtesters for Magic?
Yeah. Yeah,
they?
they have
How many
for 2 years
people?
in advance. There's
14.
2 years in advance. They're
Literally
designing
dozens.
they're designing these cards and testing these cards for 2 years and tweaking them and changing them.
I've heard from 40K playtesters that sometimes it's almost like they're not even listening.
Yeah, they're ignoring playtesting.
Yeah. Which is the whole Salamanders issue. I didn't even talk about that
I
other
guess-
stratagem, but when they printed, basically when that book was going to production, they told them, like, don't print this. This is broken, and it's going to ruin. You're going to have to FAQ it immediately.
Yeah,
It
but
has to be fixed.
I guess Magic playtesters are in-house.
Well, they're
playtesters.
paid also,
Yeah, they're
right?
paid.
Like-
They're Wizards of
Okay.
the Coast employees.
Yeah, now
So-
40K is play tested by volunteers.
Yeah, which I think might be better for Magic if you allow a couple hundreds more people to keep an eye on these cards that are outrageous.
What you could do,
Are they worried about leaks?
I'm sure they are.
That
There's
might be-
already
that
a
might be
big
it.
problem with Magic
That might
leaks.
be
Like,
it.
Yeah.
like Magic spoiler season usually happens about 3 or 4 weeks before a set comes out, and they intentionally spoil cards to up the anticipation
see what
for
they
the
could
set.
do though,
Random
like
but-
with 40K.
But with Magic,
they-
when the leak is like 2 months before, like Magic gets mad.
yeah, they could have like what they could do, like for Magic specifically, they could literally have the cards. I mean, I guess you need the card to build a deck, right? Like they need the playtesters to build around them.
Yeah.
But you could like just give them a card with
you-
literally.
You know, like you said before, the players don't care about the name, the art, or anything. They just
that's
care
what
about
I'm
what they
saying.
do.
You just give them the text of the abilities.
Yeah, but
You
that
don't-
gets leaked.
No,
That's the
but,
same.
But what I'm saying is, you put them in a room. Like you have to leave your devices outside the room. You just come in and play it, play test it, make your notes, and then you know what I mean. Like card 1A, you know, even like when it refers to itself in the
Yeah.
ability text, it
But
could
then
be like,
you go on Twitter and say, "Hey, I just play tested this deck with a card that's going to be broke. This is what it does." Spoil.
yeah.
under
But
their
then if you
alter
do
ego
that
Twitter.
on Twitter,
It's their
like,
alter ego Twitter.
that's
that
that's
no one's
fair.
gonna admit
Is
they
that
have.
what's happening with Wizards?
That's
The
what happens
leaks,
with a
the
lot
leaks
of.
are Reddit based mostly, but
But how frequently does 40K release stuff?
Weekly.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
rules not necessarily weekly,
Yeah,
but
it's-
like a couple
it's more
times,
sporadic with the
couple times a month.
Yeah.
Especially like when they're ramped for 40K. It's like the last Psychic Awakening book was less than a month ago. You know, maybe a little over a
it
month
was.
ago.
I think it was last month.
Yeah.
it was.
It
in
was early October,
Yeah,
right?
it was in October. Yeah.
Okay.
So you get weekly releases
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
on rules.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, you can. You're looking at 30 weeks a year, probably, that you're getting. That might be a little high. It might be 20, 25. Pretty frequently.
How do you
what's
even
your
play
point?
the game?
What's that?
How do you even play the game?
Dude, the game's been changing a lot.
typically
But if it's weekly changes,
Well,
that's
that-
a problem.
it doesn't affect-
That's-
it doesn't-
it doesn't affect everybody but one army at a
Yeah,
time.
it's usually marginal.
That affects
rule changes.
everybody. You can't play
Playing against them.
competitively
Well-
without knowing that.
Well, there are
True.
some things like
Sure.
when they come out, like orcs were good for a short amount of time, and like I understand what you're saying. Like it does affect globally the game, but like, you know, nobody plays orcs here, so
how
like,
do you ever know the rules?
you don't in 40K. It's very difficult to
That
know
is
all the
one
rules.
of the huge problems with 40K right now. It's probably my biggest problem with them.
And-
Is that's one of the bloat is what they call it.
Not
Just the
necessarily
rules
new
bloat.
published rules, but like FAQs and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like you're talking.
If you include FAQs, it's probably.
I would say every other week out of the year. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't always come. Like if you space it out and looked at it, every other
I don't know how you guys have fun with this
26 weeks a
game.
year. I bet
It's wild.
But you know what? It's exciting though, because like it's always, you know, like that when I was telling these guys,
That's too much.
I don't know, man. I like it.
I like
Yeah.
having a living a game that's living that they're paying attention to. I agree with that. But once a week,
Well, no, I mean, and like I said, it's not exactly like putting me on the spot. It's hard for me. You know, I can't really say for sure because Sigmar comes out with stuff very frequently as well.
I would agree that like my Death Guard army hasn't been touched in a while, so I haven't had to learn any new rules. But like you said, if I wanted to play competitively, I have to know what just changed with salamanders
Yeah.
and stuff, and how to
and
play
how
against
to
that.
play against them.
Well, we've
Yeah.
got 7 Space Marine books, for instance, since September.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Right? I mean, right? Was it September?
that's higher than normal though.
Well, sure, but I mean, so we're talking about frequency of rules. Like, you've got 6
yeah.
books that go with one codex. So, like,
What came out? Oh, Raven.
plus an Eldar
6,
book,
7,
plus
yeah.
the Chaos in Black Templar book that's coming out. So there's a lot of stuff.
You could argue that Space Marines have just been kicking butt because not anyone's had time to really design counter attack
No,
against them.
Jake, I don't think you can argue that. I think they're just. I honestly think Space Marines are just flat out broke.
But
Fair enough.
how do you play it casually then?
You just
you don't care?
by just doing that, by just playing casually. Like, okay, that's what you got. Okay.
But then you got to say what rules are you using?
Well, no, because they have their codex. You know what I mean, and that's what they're using.
They have rules for like open play, like for more narrative settings too. Like they have what are those cards that you can use? I can't remember.
Open war cards.
Oh, they just call open. Okay, so you have like open war cards that you draw that are all different.
I need to play some more of those games. Those are pretty wild.
Yeah, they're pretty. I've seen some people use them. They look really cool. I've never ran.
They
With
can
them.
be over like.
They could be some pretty crazy scenarios, but
Mike, we didn't hijack the conversation. We're engaged in a conversation.
Yeah. I don't know. Might be weird.
Do you
anyway.
think that like these? God, we talked about playtesting a lot on the show. I feel like some of this stuff can be done since it's so number heavy. Can't they just run it through a simulator?
No.
Well, the problem.
You don't think so?
Computers can't actually get random either. I mean, it's not going to be.
Well,
It'll
the
give
number-
you false positives.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying
Do you
is
think a
like
computer
build
could-
A versus build B. Can't you simulate that
Well, that's
build?
what I'm saying. You're talking about a dice rolling game. That's random.
Also-
Well,
can't
sure, but
simulate
like
that.
just if you can assume that the average is if you play the same game 1,000 times, the dice are going to average out.
What I'm saying is they probably do that, and it's. I would guarantee that's inadequate.
You're also
that's fair.
you're also thinking about things that combos and strategies that maybe not thought of that you have to build.
Right, if
into
you
it.
don't put it into the simulation, it doesn't
Yeah.
give you any returns. I get
Yeah,
it.
So-
and it's what a simulation won't do that your community will do. Your community of playtesters anyway is they'll
We'll
look
obsess
at,
over it
Well,
and
they'll,
figure
they'll
out
look
what's-
at it and they will look at it like you said, obsess over it, and they'll find
Yeah.
a way to break.
That's
That's
why
like the
I
job
really-
of a playtester
I
is
really-
to break.
Yeah.
what-
That's
But
the same
you
thing with
need more
video games. You
playtesters.
find that you are
find the
particularly
exploit.
trying to find the glitches
Yeah.
and
you
exploits.
find the exploit, and that's what you run
But
with.
don't you need like okay? So let's say I think 40K has got somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 playtesters globally. It might be more. It might be less. I'm
I
not
would
sure.
really hope
that
it's more.
sounds
I-
low.
I think it's pretty low. Like Sigmar has 4 dudes in the United States that I don't know this for sure, but there are 4 people that I've heard in the U.S. that test Sigmar.
I wonder how many thousands of people actually are like Games Workshop customers.
Oh, I mean, dude, they just posted their mid-year profits and they're pretty high.
Yeah.
They got a lot of customers. Okay, go ahead. Let's hit your topic, bro.
Okay, what did you guys say about Star Wars earlier? Because I couldn't hear
Uh,
anything, and
it's
it
just-
ties into that.
They said it was mediocre overall. Yeah.
Okay,
Mandalorian specifically,
yeah.
it's mediocre.
Well, okay. Wasn't sure if there's anything else specific said. So I had a conversation with Tony the other week. Then I saved it in my mind that I wanted to talk about this on the podcast.
Shit.
Well, no. So I think we've all seen the memes at least of the particular character in The Mandalorian, little green guy. And Tony said it's just a way to merchandise.
Sure is.
So I looked up some numbers from Disney's own reporting, and merchandising is like by far their number one profitable
yes.
thing.
Oh,
like
yes.
it's
Really?
like it's like doubled their next thing.
Why do you think they only took 5% gross on Spider-Man? Because they got merchandising.
So like it's like doubled
But
the
okay, that's
second
not
most
okay.
profitable
I
thing.
assume toys, but that's like sweatshirts, mugs.
Yeah, everything.
yeah.
The
Everything.
DVDs fall into that.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. But
Disney,
so
go to Disney World or Disneyland. I mean, it's,
So
That's
now-
not. Yeah, right. Like,
yeah, that's
so
you
now
buy a $50 plush Spider-Man or
It's
whatever.
more than that. It's that $3 toy you buy at Walmart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they sell millions of them.
So this had my mind thinking like, all right, so now why create something in general? And for the
Porgs,
Mandalorian,
bro,
in
porgs.
particular, like, why is it made? Is it made for the right reasons to create an authentic, genuine story about a bounty hunter?
Well, now to be
or-
fair, the right reason is to make money. Like
well,
that-
me
that-
and him, Jake were talking about that earlier.
I don't know if
and
that's-
I would say it's both, right?
well,
'Cause
you wouldn't
'cause
buy.
you're not
You
gonna-
wouldn't
I don't
buy.
agree with that
You wouldn't buy the Star
at
Wars
all.
IP for $4 billion out of the kindness of your heart. Like,
Dude, all
Well,
right.
no, exactly.
We're not talking about the right and wrong can't be put in this context. It's not the right thing to do to make money. So if you're talking about the Mandalorian
well-
as a piece of art, you should not use a character solely to sell things.
I think
would
art
argue,
comes second, man. I don't think
Oh,
like
it
these.
does. It absolutely does.
Yeah, I
But
don't
what I'm
th-
saying is like that hurts your.
What
your
hurts the
story.
product? Yes,
Yes.
I agree with that. I
So-
agree with that.
So
But I think they're looking at it the wrong way. I think if they looked at it and tried to truly be artistic and tell a good story, that would sell probably more.
I would agree.
You know what I mean? But
if they're-
they look at it from a corporate lens.
strengthening the IP would sell more over time
Yes.
than cheapening it.
yeah.
Yes,
And so
it's a quick buck versus the investment,
and,
right?
and especially with Disney Plus rolling out, costing them a lot of money initially, right? This from The Mandalorian, I don't think it's very bad, like you said, it's mediocre, but it does just seem like an inauthentic way to sell merchandise. Because the Boba Fett character is very merchandisable, so they create a clone of him essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Not in
Mandalorian.
story the clone of him, but like
No, I
looks
know.
wise,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
character looks exactly
Yeah.
like him.
Well, it's
Easily-
triggering the nostalgia. Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I've seen that
Yeah.
helmet.
And
Dude,
then
it's been heavy on that. There
Yeah?
hasn't even been barely any dialogue.
Have you seen his
No,
face at all?
no,
Okay.
and then Baby
think we would.
Yoda is going. That's going to be insane.
Yeah,
Because that
Right
literally that
before
could be
Christmas,
any
too?
that could be any type of alien, and they chose a Baby Yoda, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be Star
It
Wars.
didn't
is the
have
best.
to be an alien. It could have been a robot. It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been R2D2.
It could have been a disc of some kind.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, but you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
So,
That's why I was aggravated when I saw Baby Yoda, and I felt like I was alone on an island.
well, my first
People
my
don't
first
see it, though.
my first
They don't
response
see it,
was my first response was like, well, they should be able to tell any story they want, and if it, but
I agree that I agree with that.
and I agree too. But then at the same time, like,
Brittany says, "I don't know, guys. I'd buy a $20 Baby Yoda."
see, exactly.
That's the point.
So like, from the first episode and a half that I watched,
They'll probably sell.
not a lot's happened, and it just doesn't. And nothing, you know, nothing about the character, which is fine. But I was talking to Brad earlier. It'd be much more compelling because, like, we're talking about throwing in meta stuff to make the show more marketable, right? So throwing Baby
Have you
Yoda.
watched it?
The problem with
No.
the character is
I'm
he's
not- I
he's
don't
not
think I'm gonna watch
mysterious.
it.
He's boring.
Well, okay, so
You know what I mean?
Throwing in Baby Yoda makes this much more marketable to a wider audience because everyone knows who Yoda is. But like I was talking to him, Logan was so successful, and it didn't really have a big X-Men overarching meta into it. It was a story about a dad and his daughter, essentially. That was
clone.
yeah.
Being nitpicky. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But that was the story, a dad and a daughter story.
There were some clever jokes about Caliban not being able to be in the sun too.
Yeah, he's albino.
It's so funny.
But
You think I'll last for 1 minute on a boat on the equator?
but this story is
Caliban? So funny. Have you not seen Logan? Oh my God!
He's
go
not
home.
in the podcast. Just ignore him.
But anyways,
We'll tackle this
So
later.
so far, this Mandalorian story doesn't seem to have much depth. It's about a character we don't know anything about that we're not connected to, about just an alien that is nostalgic and cute.
They've even put a lot of emphasis on the ship.
Yeah,
Like,
Is it is it the slave one?
No,
no.
Okay.
no, that would have been quite on the nose. But like the first episode had cryo frozen people. You know
That's-
what I'm saying?
Not cryo.
that's
whatever
fine.
it is.
Carbonite.
No,
I don't
dude.
That
Like,
was only
it was-
two.
oh,
It's
it
gonna
was
be a
carbonite.
keychain.
That was in
There's gonna be a
episode
keychain
5.
of
Yeah.
all-
Did you see the first
And
episode?
6 technically.
The blue fishman is like, "Oh, I'm gonna evacuate my thorax." He's
Wasn't
like,
that-
"No,
wait.
you're not," and he froze him, and he is in the solo pose.
Wasn't
like,
the point of the carbonite thing not
That's
to
what it
freeze
was.
people?
Yeah,
yeah.
it was.
Oh, that's what we were
it was
talking
for
about.
trash.
Yeah.
Is that what it was for?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was for trash, and they're like,
hilarious.
"Well, we're gonna put Solo in there to make sure it doesn't kill him, so we can use it on Luke."
Yeah, and
That's what it
now
was.
it's a plot device.
Yep.
It's
So
dumb.
wait,
A
no.
mere, not even multiple years later.
Wait,
Yeah.
so if it worked with Solo correctly, and
But it was- it
why
was
wouldn't
almost-
they continue to use it?
It was almost
mean?
miraculous that it worked on Solo.
Because it was in one city on Bespin. It was one cloud city.
And it was a huge device, like the size
It-
of this building.
that-
It was
true.
also like a
That's
trash
true.
compactor.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they-
It was a
they-
a different room
And they
completely.
put
Not
it into a
not just
hand grenade.
not
pretty
just in the
much.
back of your
yeah,
ship.
yeah, they didn't have like an Insta freeze.
Yeah.
The room is like the size of these tables.
Yeah.
But that being said, in like 10 years, you might be able to master that technology.
All right, yeah, we'll apologize for it. That's fine.
I wasn't that upset about that part.
No, it's
Well, no, that to me, okay, like nostalgia to me is the weakest, and it's it's the most low hanging fruit, right? Like, do you get? I remember. You guys remember Chewbacca? Like, there's a reason South Park parodied the whole
Yeah.
concept of like digging up the past.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Right.
that was like the entire.
No, I
season
agree.
was
I think
member
using
berries.
nostalgia to like draw
Nostalgia's
someone
not
in.
bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's when it's everything, right? So like, Watchmen, you know, they do a good job of like the newspaper gives you exposition, and from what haven't read the source material, but from what I've seen from the source material, there's a lot of that in it.
Yeah.
You know, like where they give you exposition on a newspaper headline or a magazine headline or whatever.
It's
Yeah.
very heavy in there.
Yeah. But that's nostalgia used in a tasteful, different way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, hey guys, look, do you remember Sunkist, the delicious drink from your childhood?
Well, I mean, I don't mean to seem argumentative, but that's not the point of it in Watchmen. That's replacing the narrator.
No, and
And
that's
that-
fine.
you
And
know,
that's,
it's-
you're
it's-
right, but that's
yeah.
consistent with the comic book.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what I mean. But they're not using it to trigger nostalgia, but it's the same
Oh,
concept.
okay. All right.
Yeah. But I do like that they use that instead of a narrator too,
Yeah.
because if you're perceptive and see it,
Well, you need to be paying attention to the story
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
know what's happening.
Trying to think of something that drew me in with nostalgia that was amazing. Disregarding nostalgia.
You know what I'm going to talk about? Let's talk about Transformers.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So you're what? Okay. Let's talk
That
about
was
it.
X-Men.
Prove it.
No,
Continuous
like
outrageous
the first Transformers
deplatform.
was the nostalgia is what drew me in.
Yeah.
And it was good. And
Wait,
then,
the movie?
Yeah. And then Transformers 2 came along, and you're like, this doesn't make as much sense. But, you know, I
And then
grew
3
up
came
with it.
out.
I'm going to keep going. Then 3 came out, and I was like, why am I spending money on this?
Was 2 the one with the toaster bot?
No, it was 3. 2 was the one with the racist cars.
I was gonna say which one had the racist cars
that
in
was
it?
the one. That is the one.
We gon'
Who didn't
die.
have who didn't have a toaster?
No, it had a wheelie. It was a.
Oh, I was thinking.
Hey,
I'm thinking
are
of
you
the
even
remote,
really
remote controlled car.
Are
That's
you
what
not
I'm
even much
thinking
of a Transformers fan, are you?
Camera can't see it.
Da-na-na-na-na.
This is a little bit.
He's got he's got the Eye of Sauron on his arm.
That's
Iron Hands.
that's so funny. Iron Hands.
But this all okay. So
But
this
that's
all-
different though. That's different, right? What he's like. I went to
Nostalgia
see
got me in the seat,
right,
and
but
then
they
my
could have.
brain made me leave it.
This. So
I don't have as big a problem with that.
another point. This all okay. So this point extrapolated from.
Like
Just
4
talk,
minutes,
bro.
Go.
Extrapolated from product placement.
What's that?
Extrapolated from product placement.
That's bad.
Product
good
placements, I don't like it at all.
Right. This idea came because he was complaining about product placement, and it just seemed like the Mandalorian was product placement for their merchandise.
It is.
And
Star Wars.
I
Okay,
agree-
Star Wars has never not done that though.
That's,
Ewoks literally exist for merchandising.
it's clear to me. But and then I argued with him for a little bit about good and bad of product placement. And in my mind, some parts of product placements are fine because it's a way to get your stuff funded. But then he said it's like having an ad thrown in the middle of your immersion, and it just pulls you out of it.
Okay, so that's equivalent to now when we're going from the consumer side. If you pay for HBO, but you're still getting ads, you're going to be upset, right? So you
that's
pay.
exactly my point.
So you pay for the game. Like, there's no reason they're subjecting you to ads because you've already paid for it. Now, League of Legends, totally different.
Okay, well,
But
Fortnite,
no,
totally
look at-
different.
look
what
at,
about the Mandalorian? So it's the same thing.
I don't know
where
if that flies though, because you pay for cable and you still get ads.
you
Like,
get
commercials.
you don't pay
Yeah.
for select content.
Yeah, you pay for
well,
60
you pay
channels or
You
whatever.
pay for channels and stuff.
No,
but
you
you're
pay
still,
for access to their network
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
channels. You don't pay for specific content.
Yeah, and
so
you-
it's
you
not
don't-
the same thing.
Yeah, you don't get the choice.
HBO is paying for specifically HBO's
I see what you're saying
content.
though. Like it is analogous.
Well, it's not because the FCC rules if you don't pay for network access. So it's literally not the same
So
thing.
if you pay for specific network access, you shouldn't see any ads, then, right?
if you're paying for content,
Right, you get HBO for its content.
Oh, okay.
not
So
network access. It's like,
content being the shows and movies,
well,
right?
think of it like the internet, right?
Yeah.
You pay to access the internet, but you
You're
don't
not
get
paying
to
for
watch a
individual
movie
websites.
without paying for the content.
Okay, I see. So there's the
Yeah,
content.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. What were you saying?
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say because like you're talking about games and stuff. So in Death Stranding, guys, straight up Kyle, he drinks Monster Energy drinks.
Punches holes in walls.
Now I've never punched a hole in the wall,
Dun, 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 dun.
but he drinks. He loves
But
Monster.
he showed me. He sent me a Snapchat of the guy
It's
the
literally
camera's
like,
focused on the monster can and the main character's in the background.
Hold on.
He-
It's more than that. So like, there's 5 monsters on the table, and they're in every orientation possible, so you can see every part of the can.
I never
when he
noticed
goes
that.
to
That's
grab
funny.
one.
And then he walks.
So
he,
frustrating.
he's the background, walking up to the main focus of the monster can, grabs it, drinks it.
You got to think of these things
Almost
too.
falls
Like,
over drinking it.
there's no in film, whether it be cinema or TV or video games, there's no accidents. Everything that's in the frame is
Absolutely.
intentional.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So like every angle of the can, like they literally had to do that.
So you think?
And that's-
So you agree that's a problem that they use Monster to get that game funding?
No.
It's not. It's not that they used Monster to get funding for the game. It's that they place it in there in order to make you go buy more.
Well, that's the whole point that Monster funded it, is that they want.
Well, it's advertising.
That's
That
the-
is
that's
advertising.
the reason they
But
funded
that's
it.
that's the thing. You don't make content for advertisement.
I agree.
well,
I
so,
agree.
So like now the NBA has one patch
you're
on
Disney.
their jerseys, right? Like for a long time, sports teams
Like a
fought
sponsor?
fought against having ads on their jerseys. I mean, you've ever seen NASCAR? Like I don't know why you'd watch it, but like every car is
There's
a
a lot
billboard.
of-
Yeah, and every car is a billboard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
NFL practice jerseys have, every team's got, like Detroit's got a Quicken Loans patch on their practice jerseys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's just there's this space available for people to rent out, and they do. Like
Look at baseball games. It's like all over. They have green screens all over behind the batters. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
change
those-
the advertisements.
yeah.
Football
constantly.
games are like that too.
well, like inside of the NBA court, like the scorers table is
Yeah.
all ads.
I mean,
it's-
I don't agree with that either.
The
but
court's
I mean,
got ads
but
on
that's, That's also a little bit different than
Sure.
making,
Sure.
like.
They're not making fictional
I-
material.
Well, when you're
Well,
sitting
I
in the
mean,
stands
even
at a
if
baseball
it's-
game,
what
you
if
don't
it's-
see it.
It's the
as
Mona
much.
Lisa, right? And you're allowed to look at it for 2 minutes, and then an ad pops up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel about film and stuff. Like I'm very passionate about it. It is art, and I don't want to see ads while I'm.
And
playing
that's
it
what
as
it
well,
is.
or
That's what it
experiencing
is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sometimes it's done tastefully, like where they pan out in Times Square, and
Oh,
you see
yeah.
like the Pepsi ad.
Sometimes.
whatever.
Sometimes it's.
But
it-
when
it's
you
placed,
crash into the Bud Light truck and you rip open and
Mark
drink a
Wahlberg.
Bud Light,
Granted,
He turns
I
to the
see
camera.
it and like I'm aware of it, so it kind of breaks
It's
me out of it a
so
little bit
annoying
more.
watching things with Tony.
It's like, dude, we were watching. What was it? Get Out. I think it was
Yeah.
Get Out. And the guy gets his Canon camera and he's like, I'm like, gonna go buy me one of those.
I didn't even.
Did you
I
really
didn't-
say? Oh no,
No,
you're,
I didn't even remotely respond to
Because
it.
like he sets it back, and that movie's great. I really enjoyed that movie, and this is like a blip on the radar. But like he takes a picture and then they set it down, and then there's a close shot of
Yeah.
just the camera. That's product placement.
oh, Mandalorian
fair.
had a
Just
lot of
let
that
him
tonight.
take a picture.
Mandalorian had a lot of that tonight.
Yeah.
Like, hey, remember
Yeah.
that guy's in the baby carriage? Don't forget he's over there.
baby carriage.
He's like in the hover. Have you watched it yet?
He's not
Then why
gonna
would you
watch it.
ask a question?
I don't know.
Baby carrot.
Never mind. Continue.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
You guys were talking about it back there, and I was
David-
about to yell Boba Fett from the back room.
David
Boba
Boba
Fett.
says sometimes a Starbucks cup gets accidentally left on the
Holy,
got scene.
let me tell you
There's
that.
no way that was. There's no way that was intentional. Like, how do you leave a
Well,
Starbucks
also,
cup?
it,
in a-
it,
out
it
and
wasn't a
reshoot,
Starbucks
yeah.
cup.
Yeah, it was paper cup.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a Starbucks cup. It just looked
It's
like
just
one.
funny, you guys. We got to tear it apart.
Oh, we do got to tear it apart.
Like I said, I don't even watch Game of Thrones. I'm just saying, like that. There's. Like,
Well, there was also a water bottle.
Did you see those guys came out? Yeah, in the last
in
scene.
the last episode? Yeah.
Did you see that they came out and they were like, yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. Like they did like a Q&A with somebody else. Yeah, like they
It's always
flat
full
out said
circle,
like
man. It's always
they
back
were in
to
over
Game
their
of
head at the
Thrones.
end, and they were too arrogant to ask for help at that point because they did make some good seasons of TV. They made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then-
we can tell they were in over their head.
Yeah,
And do you know? You guys all know who Bo Burnham is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
How
had.
can we not, Jake? We're friends with you.
That's fair. He has like two things that I remember in his stand-ups that are kind of because he's kind of a very meta character in his stand-ups. He has
Playing somebody. Never
Yeah.
mind. Finish.
He's definitely got a
is.
persona.
He's playing a fictional version of himself, essentially. He's came out and said that. But anyways,
They all do. Like that's not.
that's
Go
true.
ahead. I'm sorry.
And one part of his stand up, he's like drinks some water, and it's like the labels are all taken off. He's like, "Oh, labelless water. Nothing feels better than not getting sued." And then and then another one, like in the middle of a bit or after one bit ends, he sits down on his piano, and then the lights go down, and then it's just like flaming hot Cheetos, like a soundtrack. And then then he's like, "I'm not getting paid by them. I just want them to." So it's a kind of like cheeky commentary on product placement. I found.
Okay, this is the last thing we'll say, and we'll close this out. When I was at Mount Pleasant, we went to the state finals. All of our Gatorade bottles, we had to cover them up.
Really?
Yeah, because it was on TV, right? So like, you couldn't have any logo on anything. It was weird.
That's wild.
It's so stupid.
Why not though?
I don't know.
Because,
You got these giant Gatorade coolers with ice in them, and you're
on
like,
top
"What's
of
that?"
the free advertising, they'll get more money by just suing you.
Liability.
Yeah, when I was going to film school, I
that
kept
might
trying
be-
to
yeah,
buy
liability.
clothing that didn't have logos on it, and then I realized I don't want to be on camera, so I started getting really big logos on stuff.
What if?
Were you on camera when you said that just now?
No,
No, I understand.
I should.
Yeah,
I
or,
Their brand's worth more to them.
I
than-
understand.
or if there's a fight and they use the Gatorade
about-
container to bash someone's head over.
What about your arm?
We never
though?
talked about the helmet gate.
Oh yeah,
This might be illegal.
Could they sue you or the artist?
I think it would be me because I asked for it.
No, it'd have to be the artist, the one who profited from it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know if there's an actual
like
liability
you can
to
download,
tattoos,
you
right?
can download
It doesn't,
movies,
it
but
doesn't
it's when
have
you.
the TM on it, so I think I'm good.
There's got to be.
That's probably the problem.
Wait, yeah, shouldn't it? You should go get the.
I gotta go
Go get the trademark.
I'm kind of curious on trademark logos being tattooed because everyone gets tattoos of trademark stuff all the time.
Prove it.
They're
All
supposed
the
to.
time.
They're supposed to
Prove
be
it.
different, but they're not.
This no Transformers logo has this black circle around it.
He's got it. All right, guys,
Nailed
we
it.
love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
It's gonna hold up in court.
No, it won't.
You're right.
Next week, I'm gonna do the episode like this.